This is the quotient rule. The quotient rule is used when we are finding the derivative of the quotient of two functions. In the quotient rule, first we take the derivative of the function in the numerator and then multiply this by the function in the denominator. From this, we subtract the product of the function in the numerator and the derivative of the function in the denominator. And finally, we divide all of this by the function in the denominator squared. Now, take note that in the numerator, unlike the product rule, we are subtracting. This means it's important to keep the correct order of the derivatives, otherwise you'll get an incorrect result. Okay, yes, this is a lot of information. So let's go ahead and see this at work. Let's work through the derivative of x squared over x plus 1. First, let's separate these into two functions. Let's make the numerator x squared our first function, f of x. And we'll make our second function, g of x, the denominator, x plus 1. Okay, now let's take their derivatives. Using the power rule, we know that the derivative of x squared is 2x. And for g of x, since we're taking the derivative of a sum, we can take the derivatives separately. Using the power rule, we know x, or x to the power of 1, is just 1. And the derivative of 1 is 0. So the derivative of g of x is just 1. Okay, now let's use the quotient rule and substitute in our values. We know the derivative of f of x is 2x. G of x is x plus 1. F of x is x squared. The derivative of g of x is 1. And in the denominator, we have g of x again, which is x plus 1. Alright, now let's simplify. We can distribute the 2x in the numerator. Now, we can combine like terms. The 2x squared and negative x squared gives us x squared. And this is as simplified as we'll get. So the derivative of x squared over x plus 1 is x squared plus 2x over x plus 1 squared. Okay, let's look at another one. What is the derivative of x to the power of negative 2 over e to the x? First, let's designate two functions. We'll make the numerator x to the power of negative 2, f of x. And the function in the denominator, e to the x, can be called g of x. Now, using the power rule, we know the derivative of f of x, or x to the power of negative 2, is just negative 2 times x to the power of negative 3. And what's the derivative of g of x? Well, the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x. Okay, now we have the functions and their derivatives. So now we can use the quotient rule. The derivative of f of x is negative 2x to the power of negative 3. G of x is e to the x. F of x is x to the power of negative 2. And the derivative of g of x is e to the x. And we also have g of x squared in the denominator, which is e to the x squared. Awesome. Now let's simplify. Notice in the numerator, both terms have e to the x. So let's factor that out. And once we do that, we notice that the denominator has e to the x squared. So we can cancel out the e to the x in the numerator. This leaves us with negative 2x to the power of negative 3 minus x to the power of negative 2 over e to the x. And there we go. The derivative of x to the power of negative 2 over e to the x is negative 2 times x to the power of negative 3 minus x to the power of negative 2 over e to the x. Okay, now take a look at this example. What is the derivative of x squared over the square root of x? Now, seeing that we are dividing, it's pretty instinctive to think that we should just go about using the quotient rule, right? Well, sometimes, even when there's a quotient, we don't need to use the quotient rule. In this example, we know that the square root of x is equivalent to x to the power of 1/2. Now, the square root of x is in the denominator. We know that 1 over the square root of x is the same as x to the power of negative 1/2. So really, we're taking the derivative of x squared times x to the power of negative 1/2. But wait a minute, both exponents have a base of x, so we can just add these exponents together. 2 minus 1/2 is 3 over 2. So we're taking the derivative of x to the power of 3 over 2, and you can see where this is going. Now, we just need to use the power rule. Move down the exponent, decrease it by 1, and we get 3 over 2 times x to the power of 1/2, and that's our derivative. No quotient rule required, just a little bit of thinking and the power rule. So when taking derivatives, keep your eyes peeled to save yourself some time and some brain power. And that's all about the quotient rule. We've looked at what it is, when to use it, and when not to use it. Now, the formula can be tricky to remember at first, but after enough reps, you'll be pumping out derivatives in no time. Now, before you go, if you learned something new or enjoyed this or found something helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share the video. Help me get these videos out to help more people. And that's it for now. Keep working hard and keep learning. Thank you for watching.